Well, welcome back to the Seriously Don't Do That podcast. I'm your host, Dan Griffith. You can read some more about me on the screen here. And today we're going to talk about something that's very painful, and that is how European founders waste $500,000 or more trying to break into the US market. And they're doing this not because they're reckless, but really because they're funding the wrong things in the wrong order. So if you've been wondering why your US expansion budget disappeared faster than your pipeline grew, this session will show you exactly where the money goes and what to fund instead. And if you haven't started yet, hopefully this will be a cautionary tale and help you spend your money wisely as you come to the US market. And I will apologize in advance for this session because it is the day before Thanksgiving in the US when I'm recording this. And the Griffith household is very noisy. Apparently, my neighbor has just started cutting down a tree, and my dog, who had surgery later this week, will likely be barking sometime or maybe throughout the entire episode. So you'll just get a feel for what it's like in the day of the life of me in my house in my home office. Well, let's get started. So I'll tell you about a fintech company that came to us last year. They had raised a Series A. Board was really wanting US traction, and the founder was confident. So what did they do? They lined up 5 industry conferences and flew to them. They bought a booth at 2 of them. They hired a PR agency to get them into TechCrunch. They outsourced lead generation to an agency that had great promises, 50 meetings in 90 days. $500,000 later, 0 closed deals. A few polite conversations, a press mention that no one read, and a pile of unqualified leads from an agency that had no idea what their ICP actually looked like. Here's what changed everything. We took everything to a stop. We stopped all the spending. We went back and redefined their ICP. We built targeted outreach to the 75 accounts that actually fit what they were trying to do. And within 1 quarter, they had 3 pilot deals in motion. The lesson: clarity creates ROI. Every dollar you spend should connect to a real conversation with the real buyer. And if you can't do that, then you probably shouldn't be spending that money. So I want to talk about 3 mistakes that I see common with European founders coming to the US. The first: trade shows before targeting. And yes, everything is going to rhyme today, just like it always does. Mistake number 1: if you book trade shows before you know who you're targeting, you're wasting your money. Again, see this constantly. I've seen it just in the last 2 months. Founder hears everybody is going to be at HIMSS or FinTech Connect or Health, so they drop 50,000 on a booth, travel, and cool booth swag. They show up, they network, they collect a lot of business cards and scans. And then what? They get home, they upload their contacts into the CRM, and then is when they realize that none of them are decision makers. None of them have budget authority, and half of them were other vendors. Seriously, don't do that. Here's the fix: before you book a booth at any trade show, define your top 50 target accounts. Then ask, will the people I need to meet actually be at this event? And again, I want to stress the people that you need to meet. The companies may be there, but if the personas that you need to talk to aren't there, then you're wasting your money. Are they speaking there? Are they sponsoring? Are they attending sessions? If the answer is no, that they aren't going to be there, then skip the event. If the answer is yes, go, but with the plan to meet with those specific people, not to generate awareness, not to collect cards, to book follow-up meetings with named accounts. Trade shows can be very expensive. Make them tactical, not theatrical. And if you want more instruction on this specific topic, stay tuned for an upcoming episode where we will talk specifically about trade shows and how you can maximize your value in them. So that's mistake number 1. Mistake number 2, PR before positioning. Again, hiring a PR agency before your positioning does not, before hiring a, boy, let's try that one more time. You can tell it's the day before Thanksgiving. Hiring PR before positioning. So most people hire PR because they want to get credibility and they want to get it quickly. They want to be in Forbes or in TechCrunch. They want to do a big media event, and you think the media coverage will open doors. But here's the problem. If your message doesn't resonate with real buyers yet, Press coverage won't fix it. You'll get a mention, maybe some LinkedIn likes, but no deals. PR is an amplification strategy. It amplifies what's already working. It doesn't create positioning from scratch. So here's the sequence that works. Go and actually sell 5 to 10 real prospects. Have actual conversations. Learn what language makes them lean in, what objections come up, or what outcomes they are about. And then once your messaging converts into those real sales conversations, you can bring PR in to amplify it. And I want to be really clear. I'm not against PR. What I am against is using PR before you really understand your target market and how they talk about their problems and challenges. When you follow this, you'll have proof, you'll have case studies, and you'll have a narrative that buyers already respond to. PR without positioning, unfortunately, is just expensive noise. Now to mistake number 3, hiring agencies before you've closed deals yourself. And again, this is the one that I think burns the most budget and the quickest. Outsourcing outreach before you've proven the sales motion yourself. And here's how it normally goes. Founder raises money. Board says, we need pipeline. Founder thinks, I don't have time to do this outreach. So they hire an agency that's promising 50 qualified leads in 90 days or even less. The agency sends a bunch of generic emails. They book a few sales calls with people who aren't really the right fit. Founder realizes the leads are garbage. And the agency says, well, we need better messaging, which is true, but unfortunately too late. And you just spent $30,000 to learn that you don't know your ICP yet. The fix, close your first 3 to 5 US deals led by you as the founder. Do the outreach yourself, take the demos, handle the objections, figure out what actually works. Then and only then, hire an agency or an SDR to scale what you've already proven. Give them a script that you know closes and give them accounts that you know are a good fit. Give them a process that works. Unfortunately, agencies can't fix what you haven't figured out yet, but they can scale what you have. I have a quote that I like to use in these situations where then I say, a 10,000 test with clarity beats a $100,000 trade show without focus. The most expensive mistake isn't spending money. It's spending money on the wrong things at the wrong time. When you have clarity, real clarity about who you're selling to and what they care about, every dollar works harder. And when you don't, every investment looks like a gamble. So what is the right sequence? Step 1, ICP definition. This should cost you between $5,000 and $10,000 to get crystal clear on your top 2 to 3 buyer segments in the US, who they are, what they care about, where to find them. This is foundational. If you don't do this first, you will spend money on a lot of things that won't get results. Everything builds on this foundation. Step 2, targeted outreach system. Again, you're going to spend, like it says here, $15,000 to $20,000 to build a repeatable outreach engine. Sequences, messaging, CRM structure. Launch campaigns to your top 50 to 100 accounts. Get meetings, test your pitch. Step 3, pilot deals. Close your first 3 to 5 US customers yourself. Learn the sales cycle, understand objections, prove out your model. Step 4, now you can scale. Now and only now you can justify a bigger spend. Trade shows make sense because you know exactly who you want to meet and what to say to them. PR makes sense because your message works. Agencies make sense because they can amplify a proven sales motion. This is how you avoid burning $500,000 on the wrong thing. So let's recap. The pattern that works is clarity, pilots, scale. But the mistake most founders make is scale, panic, reboot. And they're doing that because they aren't doing the first one, which is clarity, pilots, scale. So if you're in the US market and you've already started and the budget's disappearing faster than the results are showing up, we should talk. I run a market entry assessment where we map your ICP, prioritize what to spend, and build a 90-day plan to get a real traction without burning cash on the wrong things. If you'd like, book a time with us. We'd love to talk with you. Thanks for being here again. We'll see you next week on the Seriously Don't Do That podcast.
Get your clarity before the spin. Know your buyer, know the end. Build the system, test the ground. Then you'll turn the pipeline around. Clarity before That's where real traction begins. Yeah, clarity before the spin. That's where your growth begins.